I'm doing Unit 4 in the Dreamweaver book for Adobe, and it says Getting a Quick Start. The lesson overview says that I should be able to set up a site in Dreamweaver, create a new page using CSS layout, save a document, modify a page title, change headings, insert text from an external document, add foreground and background images, create, modify, and select CSS styles, preview your page in live view. The first thing we need to do is open Dreamweaver and go to Site and New Site. And where it says Site Name, you want to type DW-CIB. And where we're going to save it, it says where do we want it to save at. I'm going to put it on my flash drive. Then click on Advanced Settings, and for Default Images folder, you're going to click on the little folder, and I have navigated and put my lessons folder from the book on the desktop, and it'll tell you that it has to go in this note, but what you can do is you can actually delete that part, so that way you're going to go to your lesson images. Next thing you can do is just click Save and click OK. Now it tells you to use the welcome screen. And to get the welcome screen, if it doesn't appear anymore, you can go to Edit Preferences and go to Show Welcome Screen. And then do File, New. Okay, for our new document that we want, if we were going to create one, you could do HTML. And then you can also pick the different options that you want. And the page type that we want is, we want page type of HTML, but the layout, we want one fixed column, centered, header and footer. The little locked symbol indicates the width is a fixed set of number of pixels. Then you can just click Create. And it automatically showed me in Code View because that's the last view that I was in. So let's click on Design View so we can see the difference. And then let's click on File and Save As. And we want to save it as Green Start, and you can save it as HTML or HTML, so it just says all documents there, and you can click Save. So now where it has a title, it says, right now it says Instructions, or actually, excuse me, your title is up here on the toolbar, and it says Title, and it's the untitled document. The title will actually be up at the top when you open it in a live view or on the internet. So what you want to type here is Get a Green Start with Meridian Green Start. And then you press Enter or Return, and that just saves it up there. So we want to double click the placeholder for instructions, and we want to type, it's easy being green with green start. And then since we've already saved it, you can just file save. And we now you look over at your doc, you have files, and we want to display the files that we need. So to do that, we're going to have to navigate to our desktop. And we need lesson 4. And we want this green easy green RTF. When you double click on it, it may say that it's a Word document, but it's just because the Word will read it. And we want to select it all and hit copy, and then switch back to Dreamweaver, and in this paragraph right here, select it, and you want to do edit paste. So if we switch to code view and you look at where your cursor is blinking, it'll show you where the paragraph is, and this P means paragraph. And if you notice, it's not laid out real pretty, so let's go ahead and switch back to design view and go back to your Word document, and we want to place an enter or an extra paragraph mark between each paragraph, and then select it and copy it again. Go to Dreamweaver, select all of this and paste over it. And now if we switch to code view, now you can see that there's extra paragraphs in between each one. So like right here, there's a paragraph and a paragraph. Beginning a paragraph and a paragraph. And let's save again. Okay, so this is considered our header, and we want to double click the logo, and so we want to insert from our desktop images, and we want the banner, and then you can click OK. In the properties, where it says the alt field and it says insert logo here, you're going to type green start banner. Place your insertion point at the beginning of when people are asked, and click insert image, and scroll down because we want this butterfly, and then click OK. And it'll give us a box that pops up for the image tag alternative text. We want it to be empty. And then you can click OK. Now, on the properties at the bottom, we want the class. Well, the class, we want it to be FLTRT, which is float within the paragraph on the right. And left would be float FLTLFT. And then we can save. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the page width. So you see this CSS styles panel. I'm going to drag it out so that way we have more room to work with. And click the all. So we want to see all the CSS styles that are available. And where it says styles, click the plus, and this shows us everything that we have available. You want to click the rule for body, and it shows us that the background color is different, and the actual background color is black or gray. And now click down on the container rule. It shows us that our colors are 0. And our width of our page or of our text is actually 960 pixels. And we want to click there and type 950 and press enter. But instead of pixels, no, we want it pixels. Pixels are just the little color boxes that go across. So now let's click the body rule, and we want to edit our rule. So you click the little pencil and it brings up this box. Brings up the CSS rule definition for body. And for the background color, click the little down arrow and it gives you an eyedropper. And you want it to be white. Then you can click OK to change, and notice now everything is white. Position your mouse in the footer section and go over to where it says Style and Footer, and we need to change the background color to pound 060, which is green, and then do a file and save. Okay, we're still working with our footer, and double click the background category. Now it should bring the edit rule up. There you go, you double click up here. And then you click on background, and it says background image. And click browse, and it takes us automatically to our images folder. And click on background. And click OK. Then you can click apply. And it says background to repeat, and we want to repeat X. And then click apply again. So what it does is it just kind of repeats it. And we want to click on the little color picker, and then click on the lighter shade of green. And click OK. So now, if we notice, we changed, but it looks like it has a little bit of it stands out a little bit better. So now we can go file and save. And we want to double click on the body rule in the CSS style, so double click on body. And notice that it gives us a font family for under type category. And these are the different fonts that could be used for this page, considering not every browser is going to have the same type of font installed. So it gives you about 4 different options just in case. And it's just it'll list like 3 different types, and then it'll give you sans serif, which means it doesn't have the little things hanging off the end. And we actually want to change it to I'm going to click the little down arrow and we want to click the Tribucket MS Arial Helvetica instead of the one that was there. Then we can click OK. And we want to double click the footer rule. And in the font family for the color, we want it to be white. And then you can click OK and it applies. So then we can scroll down and notice that our footer text is white. So now we want to place our cursor somewhere in the main content and observe that the tag selector, so if it tells you it says body, division container in the paragraph. And we need to find the content rule and double click on it. For our font size, we want to type 90, but instead of pixels we want %. Then we can click OK. Notice how everything is reduced, so it goes down a different size. And go File, Save. We save throughout so that way we know that we don't lose anything while we're working. And our Properties Inspector is down here at the bottom. So now we're working with our Properties Inspector. And on the left side, you'll see HTML or CSS. And we want to make sure that we're on the HTML. And select the name anywhere in the paragraph where it says green start. And click the bold button. Paragraph copy. So now that we have all of these that are bold, we actually want to create our own class for that. So to do that, click on the CSS, and it says in the main heading, so edit rule, just kidding, that's not it, cancel. So what we want to do is actually click on the CSS button. Help if I read my directions. And then in the main heading, which is it's easy being green with green start, select the green, and in the color field we want it to be #090. And press enter. Then what it does is it tells you, okay, you're creating a new rule. So you want it to be class can apply to any HTML text, and enter the name green. And then click OK. So then, anywhere in your text that you see the word green, you can apply the rule green. Okay, once you have every word that is green in green text, you can save. So on our toolbar at the top, we can click on Live View. And Live View will show us what it'll look like in if it was live. Then you can press live again and it takes you back to editing view. If we want to preview it in a browser form, so how it'll look online, we need to go to File, Preview in Browser, and I always use Internet Explorer, so it's just easier that way. And then it pops up and shows us what it'll look like when we are in Internet Explorer. And that is the end of this unit.